Hello everybody, this is Lena from Just a Little Bit Country, and I'm going to show you the Christmas ornaments that I finished in between being sick. So I didn't record anything because I was coughing and choking and I just felt like crap. I still don't feel completely up to par, but I'm going to show them to you. That way I can get them on my tree before Christmas gets here. So we have this one. He's one I pulled off my tree that was solid gold. You didn't get to see me do that. He was ugly and hanging on my tree, and I pulled him off, and I decided this is what he needed to look like. So he's green with like black limbs and little red spots. Looks a lot better than the ugly gold. Then here is this one that we done up the other night with the little diamonds, the one that was broken. Well, here he is. Let's turn him around. Come on, dude. So this is him now. Let me see if I can fix him so you can see him better. I put some Mod Podge in the bottom of it, and I put that fake snow that I had, and I ended up putting 3 little Christmas trees and a snowflake in there, and let it dry. So that's the scene for him. He's all done. This is also an ugly one that I'd pulled off the tree that was silver and tarnished, as you can see. So I left a little bit of silver left. I painted it green and I put an X on it, all over it. So there's that one. See if I can stick him there so he don't roll off the table. Here is the other one that was broken. So I painted in green, 2 coats of green, and then I stenciled this little doodad on there. Now the berries are done with the acrylic paint, but the vine itself I did with a hair chalk pen in purple, and then I Mod Podged over the top of it. And here is the scene that I put on the inside. I took some Mod Podge and put down, and then I had a foam ball. I cut it in half and put it there in the middle so it'd kind of be something to prop this truck up against. I put some fake snow down, and then I put this little truck with the tree in it. So that's the scene for inside this one. Makes it heavy too. And then we have this one. I don't really much care for it, but anyway, that's the color I did it. I may do something over top of that. I'm not sure. Might not be this year, because I don't feel great. I don't really like that one. I'll probably put something more on that one later. And then here is this one. And I went ahead and I painted the rope around it in gold. I need to Mod Podge these 2. I haven't done that yet. And I still need to, put some glue on that to hold that bad boy down. So these are the 2. If I work on it, we'll work on these 2 this evening. And the other ones will go on the tree. And then we still have the gingerbread houses to do, but we're going to do the gingerbread houses and a couple of other projects on a different video altogether. They won't be called Christmas ornaments at that point. They'll just be Christmas decorations. But we're going to get the ornaments and put them on the tree. And I don't know, just to update everybody on a couple of things. I am entirely tired of living in the city limits and having to put up with code enforcement. No matter what you do, they are up your ass. Constantly. Constantly. Now, if you need help from them, like, hey, there's a stray dog on my property, well, guess what? They're not coming. If you call the dog catcher, he'll tell you, oh, we only have 1 man working here. Call code enforcement. Well, when you call in code enforcement, we can't do it. We're the police. Call the dog catcher. Well, no one comes. Because no one gives a shit. When there's a problem, or they just feel like it, the city will drive their big-ass trucks through my yard. They have broken. Now, when we first got here, we were just renting this house. 4 times during the time that we were renting it, the big trucks that are down here at the other end, because see, I live on a dead-end road, and there's a bunch of trucks down there. He works on big trucks, like dump trucks and shit like that. Anyway, whenever they feel like it, they'll just use my big ass yard to turn around in it. We'll go outside at any given time, and there'll be tire marks where they went down from the top of my yard and they went all the way down by the creek and out the other side to turn around. If the road gets messed up out here in the front yard, they decide they have to put a road through my yard so they can drive their big trucks across it. Well, they broke the water pipe that was out there 4 times while I was just renting. Okay, so that didn't cost me to fix those water pipes. But now when they do it, guess who it's on? Me, because I decided I was going to rent to own. Well, with that being said, renting to own, I still can't do anything to this property because I don't own it. I'm renting to own it. So for 25 years, I just have to pay the taxes on it and her home insurance on it. But guess what? If this bitch was to burn down tomorrow, none of my shit would be taken care of. But guess who gets that money? The lady that owns the house. Not the person that's renting to own it, the person that owns it. She would get reimbursed for the house burning down, and my shit inside of it would just be, well, you just lost all your shit, Lena. Just as soon as we moved in, she had to, well, she said code enforcement. They said code enforcement declared the shop that was out here on the property as condemned and needed to be torn down because it was a sight for sore eyes, they said. Mind you, had been sitting there for 2 years. Nobody gave a shit. Just as soon as I signed my name on that little bitty piece of paper to rent to own this place, it's got to come down. Oh, well, will you help us pay it? It's going to cost $4,000 for them to tear it down. Can you pay half of that? I'm like, no, and I didn't want it torn down. I wanted to rent the place or buy the place because it had a shop. Well, it got torn down. So now there's no shop out there. Just an empty piece of shit and land. Okay? Well, like I said, we're real close to that creek. For 4 years, I fought and cried and whined and carried on about I'm fixing the erosion problem. Well, they've done that now, but they tore down every fucking tree known to mankind out there. Tore down all my bamboo that I'd planted. Mind you, I have a camper in my yard that my son did live in for a whole year out here, and nobody said a fucking word. Now, all of a sudden, code enforcement come by yesterday. There's somebody living in this camper? I'm like, no, I use it for storage. Yes, it's plugged into the electricity so I can see inside of it. Oh, you can't have that. You can't have anything plugged into electricity on this piece of property. It's a single house dwelling, blah, 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 blah. So I said, so you're telling me if I had a shop, I couldn't have electricity to it? No, you can't, blah, 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 blah. What the fuck? But anywho, so here it goes. I'm just to the point where, oh, my gardening stuff that's out there. He was bitching and moaning and groaning about my brick container garden out there. That's unsightly to the neighborhood. I've had a container garden out there for 4 years. Ain't nobody said shit. Now all of a sudden, boom, here's code enforcement hollering, you can't do this and you can't do that. You know what? Fuck this shit. My husband's entitled to a VA home loan. I'm implementing that process. Will this house be eligible for a VA home loan? This house wouldn't pass their inspection. I guarantee it wouldn't. So this morning, since I was paying for a home warranty, by the way, I got a home warranty and they fixed her fucked up air conditioner outside. So that fucking air conditioner is fixed because I went and paid for a home warranty all these months. It's the last thing I'm fixing. So I had started the VA home loan process back in July. I thought that I would try to see if they could approve this place. But I have just come to the complete conclusion that I don't want to live in the city limits of anything. I do not want to live in the city limits of anything. So, today, the first thing we have to do is improve my husband's credit. You have to be at a 620 to get a VA home loan. We're at a 605. So today, I started the process of securing him a credit card, which we did, to help improve his credit score. And next month, after I get the bills and shit paid here, I will start paying the bank off that we owe a little bit of money to, so I can open up a savings account and start putting money in the savings account. Oh, and with that being said, soon as we were paying $750 a month for rent here. So when we decided to do the rent to own, the way she set it up is I pay $701.50 a month for the rent payment. Okay? Let me get my paperwork so I'm not screwing up the prices on shit. Because I want it to be legit what I say. So, yeah. Where is that fucking deed? Okay, so basically, the term of the lease is 300 months, commencing on the date hereof, blah, 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 7/01/51, payable monthly, in advance on the first day of the month. Okay? If it's late, it's a $25 charge. I've never been late a day in my life. Here. Ever. Matter of fact, I'm usually a week early. Obligated to pay the property taxes and property insurance. She said the annual estimated cost is $2,640 a year for the property taxes and property insurance on this house, putting me paying $220 extra a month to include in the monthly payment. So that put my payment at $921.51 a month at the time. Then it went up, and I was ending up paying $936.51. Now, that was after a year. And then, lo and behold, just the other day, she tells me, well, it's went up again. You're going to have to pay $983.51 a month. Of course, she doesn't show me where it's went up. I just get told it went up. So whether it went up or not, who knows? It's either pay it or get out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and then it says on here, the lessee shall not assign this lease, nor sublet the premises without the written consent of the lessee. Without written consent, the lessee shall not make any structure changes. So I can't change anything in this house other than slap some paint on the wall. Okay? Cannot conduct the business on the premises. Let's see. Then it goes on down here to say, at any time, she can change her mind. It is agreed that in the event of failure to pay the payment contained herein, or default in the performance of any agreement contained in here, she may terminate this lease and have such remedies at law or equity as may be available, including recovery of court costs and attorney fees. Then it also says, she grants me the right to purchase this house. The option to purchase shall continue for the full term of this agreement. The purchase price for the property shall be equal to the principal balance due, amount of $120,000, dated October 31st, 2020, and amortized for 300 months at 5% interest. If exercised at the end of the lease term, then the purchase price shall be $1. No penalty for early payoff. At the end of that 25-year payment, which is 300 months, I then would get a title and deed to the land. But till then, this is hers. And I could pay $119,999. And I could pay it to her. And the next day she could turn around and say, I've decided not to sell. And then this poor old 72-year-old lady would be fucked and we'd be in the street. So that's what happens with that. Let me tell you how this amortization schedule goes. So I paid a $701.51 a month. And when it started out, I can tell you how much was going to principal. So when we first started out with this bad boy, My first payment was $701.51. $500 of that went to interest, and $201.51 went to the principal payment. Okay? Well, I've been paying on it, let's see, that was 1 year, let's see, 2 years. As of this November, let's see, we started in November, so 1 year. We made it to 2 years this past November. So this last payment that I made in December, $477.93 went to interest, $223.58 went to principal, leaving me owing at this point $114,478.60 on the house. As I said, if a fire happened or a tornado happened, oh yeah, let's go back to that. Tornado happened last May. Trees fell on my house. Guess who had to get the trees off the house? Landlord didn't do that. Not the lady that owns the house. Me. I had to find somebody to come out and get the trees off the house. The leak on the house. You know who fixed that? We fixed the leak on the house. Because guess what? We're renting to own it. And because we're renting to own it, she does not have to do any of that stuff. When it's time to file taxes, we don't get the tax write-off. She gets the tax write-off. She owns the house. So even though we're buying the house, but because it's rent to own, we don't get shit. I don't get no deductions. I don't get anything. This morning, I called and stopped my home warranty. That's $100 I'm not paying towards that anymore. That's going to be going towards a savings account. Because I know I need at least $3,500 to $5,000 in the bank for closing costs on a house. I'm going to leave my lease just like it is for now. This mom is tired. This is a big piece of land for the city to be able to tell me what they can, what I can and cannot do on something that I'm buying. I can't plant a tree because city ordinance says no. I can't have a garden because city ordinance says no. The next thing I'm going to hear is, oh, well, your fence in the backyard don't look good, or, oh, you can't have that dog house out there or that cat house out there, you know, whatever shit's going on. I really believe in what my neighbor's saying. She thinks the man that has bought the house across from me is wanting to buy this piece of house. And, you know, he owns all this machinery shops down below us. And that very well may be something he's working on with the city to push us out of here. I personally am just tired of being in the goddamn city. I'm tired of people running over my shit. And then, well, there's my water line. I got to come up with the $4,000 to fix it. So I'm just very fucking irritated. I've just decided that, you know, no, I don't want to do it. I want something that when I sign the paperwork on something to buy it, that's my equity I'm earning on it. Because I'm not earning any equity on this house. I'm just making a payment to a lady that can turn around tomorrow and say, hey, guess what, bitch, I don't want you here, get out. And that's the only thing I could do is get out, because it's a rent to own. She can change her mind. But guess what? So can I. My throat's starting to hurt because I'm yapping too damn much. So we're going to get through Christmas. And like I said, I'm working on getting my husband's credit where it needs to be. Because that's the first process in this thing, is getting the credit score where it needs to be. And that I know while we're doing that, I need to pay off the bank a little bit of money we owe them, open up a savings account, get some money put in there, and not fucking touch it. Every little bit, and I know from what I've been using monthly to get the stuff for these liquidation boxes, that's money that can go into savings. I don't need that much. I don't need fucking clothes. I got enough. All the extra fucking money I got can go straight into savings. Yep. And if we buy a vehicle, it needs to not be something that we have to finance. It needs to be straight cash. Because, you know, you don't want to add to your debt. You want to take away from the debt. So, I just got through securing him a credit card, which will come in 2 or 3 weeks. I went ahead and let the VA know that that process is done. We've done it. And I also contacted her and gave them updated information about him going full-time and about his pay raise. So, yeah. That's where we are at this point in the ballgame. Now, with that being said, let's take all my pretty Christmas ornaments that I've made. If I can get them down there without breaking them. Let's see if I can get them down there without breaking them. I don't even know if I can get a hold of them. And then I gotta figure out how to make everything go. Come here, little dude. Now, let's move this chair out of the way. My puppies, Mommy's going to the living room. Boom, 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 boom. Keep going. We're going down here. Go. One of you could be nice and push the wheelchair so I wouldn't have to make it go as slow as I'm going. But all y'all know how to do is try to bite me, huh? Yeah. You want to fight with Mommy? She said, I want you to play. I want you to move. Beep, beep. Go away. What did you just tear up? Oh my God. Get down. Get down. Down, fuzzy butt. Get down, fuzzy butt. I'm not playing. I'm moving the fucking car. God, get down. They're not to eat. Get off of them. What did you tear up? Get down. Get down. Goodness gracious. Let's put this over here, and you can watch what I'm doing. From over here. Because I can't do everything one-handedly. Look out. Look out. There. Put that there. Stop it! Screwballs. Oh, goodness. Turn that way so that don't fall. Yeah, I put my pretties there. Daisy! Stop! They can throw your ass outside and cold. Oh, she says, no, you're not. I'm going to run and hide in the bedroom. Mean little dog. Oh, let's see. I'm going to put you. I'm going to hang in a past so you can see them look pretty. I'm going to remove you. I can. Put you down here on that one. Let me put you down there. Oh, wait, wait, wait. There. Just up here. Hang there. You're not pretty. Everybody can see my pretties that I made. Sounds like I'm talking to myself, doesn't it? I could be. There we go. Why don't you play with this? This is your toy. Look, hey, woo. Get that. Made a mess in here. What did you tear up? Oh, you're probably in some deep doo-doo. Oh, I'm sure you are. Uh-huh, you're probably in some deep doo-doo. You little girls, just ornery as hell. You are just ornery. It's all get out. Always in shit you're not supposed to be in. There's my tree. Let's see if I can get her and see what it is. Isn't this they made in my living room? She just got in trouble. See, now we got them. I'm going on that one. And that one. It turned out pretty good. I go down to the Dollar Tree and buy a whole mess of those and make them for people for ornaments next year. Ornery girl. Just ornery as all get out, aren't you? Made a big ass mess of my floor again, waiting for somebody to have to clean it up. Yep. Keeping these big liquidation boxes. I'll be packing soon in them. Yeah, because let me just get real content in here and tell you something else. These cabinets, you see the holes through the cabinet there? They just threw this shit together, and I've got a roach problem from hell, and I have put out bait, and I've used every kind of bait known to mankind, and it will not kill these little fuckers. And I'm beginning to believe that they're living in the walls of this house. I really believe they live in the walls of this house. Now, the air conditioner unit outside, I just repaired it. It really needs to be updated, but to update it is a $4,000 job, which I don't have the money to take care of. And I'm not going to, and would not do it, unless I actually own the deed to the land. Because why would I fix it for her to snack back and say, hey, we've decided not to sell. Okay, she's got a brand new air conditioning unit in the deal. But when you turn it on to use it, even though I've repaired it, it jacks my electricity bill up to $300 or $400 a month. See, I paid to fix it. I used it for 2 months after I fixed it, and that's what it did. So we don't use it now. Now, I had been using the heater. I had a gas bill for the last 2 years of no higher than $80 a month. And the last year, it's been lower than $40 a month. Well, now that I've had to use it because it's really, really cold and I got sick, I have not seen a $189 gas bill ever in this house since I stopped using their heating systems in this house. Yeah, $189 due the beginning of January. Nope, I'm turning that bitch off and I'll go get myself some portable units just like I had before. And you see the flooring? You can actually pick this flooring